All right, we're in ninth grade lit, and we're going to read a few minutes near the end of Song of Roland. We're on page 192 at the bottom of the page, 269. Question 84. We've answered 83. So I will begin. Ood, the fair, has made an end of life. She just dies because she found out that her husband, or to be, her fiance, is dead. I don't know if this, I have to admit we've watched a few Hallmark Christmas movies already. We laugh at them and yet we watch them. You know, we laugh at them because, wow, that's really corny, and yet we watch it again. So, anyway, Ood the fair has made an end of life. The king thinks only that she has swooned outright. He pities her, the tears fall from his eyes. He takes his hands, he seeks to bid her rise, but on her shoulders her drooping head declines. When Carlin sees that she indeed has died, 4 countesses he summons to her side. Unto a covenant of none she's born to lie. Till the day breaks, they watch her all night. Then, near an altar, she's tombed with solemn rites. Charles does her honor as much as in him lies. But as you know, if I ask you this question, the style of the book, the narrative style of the book, is one action after another with very short transitions. So you have these 2 stanzas about getting, now they're home and she dies, but that's all. And now they move directly to the trial, which I've written down right next to 270. So to give you an idea where that begins, number 270 is the trial of Ganelon. The Emperor Charles to Aix is now come back. Now Ganelon defaults, and iron bands amid the city before the palace stand. Upon a stake the varlets have him strapped. With deer-hide thongs they have fettered his hand. With rods and cudgels they give him many a thwack. No other guerdon has he deserved but that. He waits for judgment with pain and anguish racked. Do you have any problem with that? What they're doing to Ganelon? Somebody tell me what they just did. This isn't the first time either, yeah.
Isn't he like strapped up to like something?
Yeah, and?
They're beating him with rods.
Right, and remember they did that when they first captured him.
But probably not fair because they have to wait till after the trial.
You would think,
Right.
they think that he's guilty in their mind. Their sense of justice, but do you think that's proper punishment regardless of what he did?
I don't think they should have done it overall. I don't think they should have done it again. They already beat him.
Right.
So I think
So where's the limit on how much you punish somebody? Our Constitution it's called, what is it called? Cruel and unusual punishment is prohibited by the Constitution. So I have a problem, yeah.
I mean, his treason cost the lives of like hundreds of thousands of
Right.
Frenchmen, including like Charlemagne's right-hand man. And back then it was a lot more violent and cruel times, so that probably was just for those times for what
Well,
was
I think that's a fair answer. It is a different time, and we can't impose our standards, but I'm asking your standard. My standard, I just couldn't imagine, no matter how bad the guy was, mistreating him this way. And they're not done. So in the old jest, 'tis writ for all to read, how Carlin summons vassals from all fiefs. Now in the city, Aix-la-Chapelle they meet. It is high day, a very solemn feast. Saint Sylvester, so many men agree. Now we begin the judgment and the plea. O Ganelon, who did the treacherous deed, the emperor bids them hail him before his seat. So why don't we go with Taylor?
There is my lord, sensate King Charlemagne, judge you twixt me and Ganelon this day. He went with me and with my host to Spain. By 20,000 he's had my Frenchmen slain. Also my nephew, whom you will not see again, and Oliver, that courteous lord and brave. All the 12 peers for money that he betrayed. I had sworn, quoth, guineas not to admit the same. Roland has wronged me in wealth and estate. Therefore I plotted his death and his disgrace. So I deny treason against the state. Friends replied, this calls for much debate.
All right, so look at 84. What is his response to the charge of treason? Yes.
He says that he only had plotted Roland's death, but he hadn't committed treason.
That's right. He doesn't deny. He seems to think that would have been acceptable, to get revenge for an insult. Think about it. That's another cultural thing. They probably would agree. But to commit treason against your country and against your king, that's the charge. He just denies it. He doesn't give any evidence. Sean.
Before the king stood forth Count Ganelon, comely his body and fresh his color was. A man right noble he'd seemed where he had not false. His eyes the French, his judges all he cons, and his supporters 30 of his own stock. Then cries aloud in a clear voice and strong, hear me, my lords, now for the love of God. Seers, with the army indeed I went along. In faith and love I served the emperor long. Roland, his nephew, hated and did me wrong, doomed me to die horribly by a plot. I was made envy to King Marsilian, but used my wits, and so came safely off. I defend Roland, that fighting fair fan foreign, and all their champions. Charles and his barons heard me, as well they wot. Vengeance I took, but treason did I not. The Franks reply, we must debate thereof.
I think that's Roland speaking, because he's talking about me. So he just states his case that he got revenge, but he did not commit treason. He just tells me he was a bad guy, but that's it. And he has 30 family members. That was in the dream. These 30 bears, I believe they were referred to as. So we'll go to Leroy.
When Guinness sees his judgment thus begin, he has about him 30 of his own kin. There's one to whom the rest of leadership, called Penabel. Sorens his counsel is, he's a good speaker and nimble of his wit, and to bear arms he is both strong and skilled. Both Ganelons, see me not chained or killed, I trust you, friend, to get me out of this. Both Penabel and get you out I will, if any Frenchman should send you to swing. One of them must set us face to face in the list. With my bright friend or give the lie to him, Count Guinness vows his very feet to kiss.
Someone might explain what just happened. What is Penabel offering to do, Lily?
If someone says that Frank Ganelon should be hanged, he will fight Carlon in the ring.
So we'll call this a trial by combat. He offers to fight whoever. And of course, what is he trying to do to the jury? Did you say play or slay? Sway them is what, very good. He's trying to intimidate them. He's trying to say, so they can hear, any of you vote against him, I'm gonna fight you. Which that's not just either. So we go to Daniel.
Saxons, Bavarians to council now retreat. With those of France, I have no clue. And Normandy, and many Tudors and men of Germany. Those of
Avern.
Auvergne use the most courteous, softly, for the fear of Penable. They speak. This trial, say they, twere best to let it be, abandon it, and to the king make believe. That for this once Ganelon should go free, and after serve him in faith and loyalty. Roland is dead, he will never more be seen. One can't restore him for money or for fee. Fight Penable, who'd be so rash, not me. One and one only refuses to agree. Lord Geoffrey's brother, that is by name Theory.
So none of them want to fight him except for one who's willing to do it, and that's theory. And why don't we finish with Libby? The next one, we'll do one more.
Charlemagne resolved to return once more. They told the king, thus comes the predicate of court, that you should pardon from Goliath's fault, and that he would serve you in faith and right hand before. Roland and live, he is right nobly born. His death never can bring back that dying mourn, nor yet for money can the deputy. The king replies, false traitors are you all.
All right, so why don't we stop here? You have almost 30 minutes, 25 minutes. You know, we started the other day, I believe, we didn't have a lot of time. It's due tomorrow, so you're looking to identify the items on that sheet first. You can do the other sheet if you want to, either one.
Which sheet is for tomorrow?
The one tomorrow is the one in front and back, the one that says review. The one that has the questions on it, the contest, that's the one. The one that has the items listed on it, that's due tomorrow. So you have whatever time's left, you can try to stay somewhat separate, but try to get to work pretty quickly, and I'll check these tomorrow. Yes, sir.
Are we doing the test reviews right now, or are we doing
What's that?
Are we doing like the review games?
Oh, Wednesday. The review game is Wednesday.
It is, AIS capital.
Eights, yes.